This is your daily market recap for Thursday, January 12th, 2022. Hey everyone, this is my channel to help investors and traders develop a probability-based mindset to succeed. Also try and keep friends informed of what's going on in the markets and the economy, and also a little real estate content as well. This is Dan Max at eXp Realty, aka the Trade Agent. This is your daily market recap. Thursday, January 12th, 2023. I said I was not going to do a recap, but you know what? I lied. I'm doing right now. I know you folks are always looking for extra help and advantage, and I'm here to deliver. So I appreciate all the love, support, the generous donations. I'm here to keep you guys best informed as possible, because I know what it's like to be learning this whole game and the whole process and just not always sure what to expect day to day. So the recaps I know are important learning tools as well as information tools for staying on top of what's going on in the market. Not a part of the Discord room. Link is open for a little bit. If you're not involved, it will boot you out pretty quickly. It's a natural progression of the algorithm with Discord. Here's your updates. Hit me up. Leave me a message on Twitter if you're looking to get in. In general, this is where you go to find all of the updates and posts that are non-Discord related. Please subscribe, like, hit the notification bell. Doing live chats constantly. And also, too, if you're trying to step your game up, 54 videos. Please watch all of them and tell me you didn't learn anything. I'm just kidding. You know, you're going to find out a lot about trading, some things that you probably didn't even know. And if you are a seasoned trader, there's probably a topic in here that is relating to maybe something you struggle with or that you didn't even know was a thing. Oh, what is options expiration pin action? Well, guess what? Next week, you'll see it potentially. Let's get into it. Try to make this a quicker one. Bitcoin, here we go. All right, starting to pop. Now, again, somebody was asking, what do you think about this long term? Again, it's kind of like gold. You got to trade it. There's no, you don't get paid to hold it like real estate. So, as someone who's been saying, going sideways but chop, but know the floor. Well, the floor held, and you're rising. Here comes maybe the downtrend. We'll see. Personally, kind of the mind that Bitcoin is going to be in this choppy, sloppy, sideways pattern until when, I don't know. It's just, you're going to have to trade it. Buy low, sell high, trade around your core position. I wish you the best of luck. Not interested myself, but I'm hopeful for others that it goes higher. Oil, back testing the sneaky little trend line. Near term, tough to know. 72 up to 80, basically 79 and change. The market just seems very tenuous at these moments because, the trash floats last. People are getting super excited. I preferably like to see the market pull back before making one more high attempt or retest of the recent highs overall. What that does to oil, as we've talked about many times, for the Feds to really get pushy for higher rates, you're going to need to see oil rise. So wouldn't be surprised if it chops and has a floor that's very clear. When I say clear, like it's not really going lower. And meaning like watch the 70 level. God forbid, mid 60s would be, I think, a real gift. Natural gas, people who like to lose their hair. Again, for every person who's ever lost money in trading, I have a teardrop tattoo. I've got a lot of them actually now. Kind of look like a rapper. Because a lot of people have gotten murdered in natural gas. Personally, I'm just waiting till it just... Again, I might miss it just by nature of waiting. I'm just waiting for everyone just to stop asking about natural gas and wanting to buy it. It's one of those things where... Could it be this? Potentially. Again, I'm of the mind that you are in the floor zone, but I don't know. I think there's just easier trades potentially, or and again, I'd rather play maybe oil in some of the oil and gas names, that have exposure to both. It's the dollar. Wow. As someone who said you better take your damn profits up here to thinking maybe we bottom down here, I mean, I've been saying it every video. I have no desire to play the dollar. Now that it's getting slamsterdam, whatever you want to call it, dropping. I mean, watch the repeating patterns. I mean, it's interesting. The bottom was in January 13th of 2022. Well, what is tomorrow? January 13th, 2023. Is that the bottom? I don't know. But I personally think the dollar... the Feds aren't cutting rates. I mean, it's tough to know. That's where it's like, do I want to force a trade and overthink it, or can I just trade other things? I personally think the dollar doesn't have much downside. I've said that, but I'm also not trading it. Don't give a crap. TLT. Today's action. Oh, excuse me. Bubbles. Bubbles. Yeah, that's... Looks like it wants to go higher. Now, does the market want to follow the TLT, or is the TLT about to go bonkers? Because inflation's coming down so quickly. 6 months in a row, CPI came down. Whee! It's at 6.5%. Whee! We were at 9 and whatever, 10%. Yawn. However, interest rates... Remember, bond market got absolutely danced on its grave. You know, is it now waking up? You know, is it pulling some sort of a... I don't know, what do you call it? Man, it's been a long day. It's kind of like Jesus Lazarus coming, revival from the dead. I don't know. Again, if the market's about to smash, then bond rates, yeah, would go lower, TLT higher. I think we're in a trading range until we're not. So it's just, again, if you're long bonds and you bought bonds, I mean, I understand the play. We talked about it when it was puking down here. We talked about this like professional gap. Probably would go higher. We talked about, not surprisingly, man, it hit the 0.618. Dink. Backed up. Yeah, I mean, it seems very logical that this is some sort of high coming since you have a higher low. What's the upside? I don't know. I mean, again, it's one of those things where I'm not really sure, so I don't really need to play it. The VIX, people are like, why are you shorting the market today? Well, I was like, well, again, we're getting down to the low end of the range. Now, I know VIX termination is coming next week, or this is one of the sneaky market maker kind of things. Is the news coming from the banks, or what's coming in earnings, or what is just coming in general? Pretty insane to see the VIX dump that hard today. Let me guess, all the UVXY guys who've been buying this. I mean, again, every day I see people, I'm buying it. Well, keep in mind, reverse splits. Usually when it reverse splits, it's near a bottom. Just don't be early. I mean, it's just one of those things where, I mean, I've again, speaking of teardrops, maybe I need to put a tattoo of every trader who's gone broke trading the UVXY. Just like a little tap, like to draw it on the wall, maybe. Not even tattoos. It's like when you're in jail and you're like marking down the number of days you've been in jail. Well, UVXY, how many people blow out from that trying to be smart? Remember, the best trade on the UVXY is not to buy it. It's to short it when the VIX spikes a bunch. Sorry that ran. I just always so obvious to me. All right, we're coming down near the range lows. Let's see what happens tomorrow. Because let's talk about the SPY as a whole. People are like, you're getting bearish. I'm taking profits, and I'm hoping for a 5% pullback. I'd love to see a retest back to this 386, 388 area. I don't know if the market's going to roll over just yet. I think, if I remember correctly, the FOMC is not till February. However, the rally in January usually finds a stall point at some point, typically during OPEX. Could it be today? I mean, again, that's a good question. I mean, I wouldn't mind that. I mean, I'm pretty neutral right here with names that I don't think are going to drop a ton or hedge. So it's interesting. Doji at the 200. Doji at the 200. But keep in mind, like this week in itself, 386, 396, 397, that's a pretty decent move. Going into earnings, I said this earlier in the week, I'd rather be down in front of earnings, not up. Buy the rumor, sell the news for solar. Excuse me. In general, now we'll see. I mean, you could argue that today was a pretty wide and loose candle, so maybe that was enough to shake out bears and bulls. I don't know. I personally think that the easiest setup for me, based on seasonality, reoccurring themes, the worst kind of being behind is trapping the bears, making the bulls think the bull market would be coming back would be a drop and then a rally into earnings at some point, maybe into the end of the month. Maybe all we need is a couple days of pullback during OPEX. I don't know. But maybe a drop and a chop and then pop after OPEX. We'll see. I mean, it's one of those things where if you had longs and you're not taking profits, the more we rise, again, I don't know what I'm teaching you for. Why are you even listening? I mean, that's the goal here, is to manage your positions, take profits, pay yourself, run this like a business. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. QQQ actually been leading a little better. Not surprised, but here comes resistance. Viva la, like right there, yeah. I mean, we're close enough for government work. If we gap up tomorrow, I'd be very curious. And again, I mean, I was talking to a friend in the Discord room. He's like, all he trades is tech. And I'm like, oh, God, your life is just going to be fucking miserable trading tech next couple years, because it's going to be nothing burger. IWM. We talked about it leading. Well, that's pretty interesting, right? Like, let's dig out the zone here, because, I mean, you could argue there's a zone there, right? Sorry, let's bring it down. Why are you being like that? Let me squeeze it down. There we go. You could argue there's a zone there, the top of the VAP zone, right? And you could probably also argue, for the sake of arguing, because people just love to argue, that you got another little ceiling right around here. Because I was watching that, and I'm like, does the IWM just keep going? Because that's a pretty big move in the IWM, right? 170 up to 185. 10%, 2 weeks profit taking. Now, again, the straight line moves tend to find at least somewhat of a pullback. Somewhat of a pullback, you know, somewhat of a pullback. We'll see. I mean, again, this is the thing. Like, people are arguing the bear market's over. Well, like, and then maybe it could rise. I mean, either way, here's where you get mentally flexible and you just try to be thoughtful. And if you got longs, cool. Let them ride partially, or hedge them, or take your profit and say, hey, I'm happy and you know it, clap your hands. Like that kind of crap. Gold. Started shorting this today. Felt pretty good about it initially because it dropped, and then added a little bit. Again, I'm not going crazy here, but people are like, you're shorting gold. It's like, yeah, I don't really like to force it, but I mean, the CPI data, inflation, whatever. It's a headline. It feels very buy the rumor, sell the news. Like, whoever's buying gold now, where the hell you been? Where you been, dog? I mean, you're up 18, 16, whatever percent. I don't know. What's 150 up to 176, right? 15 points is 10%. I mean, shit, it's a solid move, right? Coming in the 0.618, everybody's excited. Again, people say, oh, you're the gold whisperer. Usually you're right, or you're just knowing it's not the best opportunities. And I'm like, well, no, I missed this move right here. But again, we bought it down here. We sold some, and then we sold the rest, and then it felt right. And then we said, well, there'll be a pullback, but didn't get it. Now we've gone, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I don't expect it to crash, but I would say 170, 168. That's my pullback range. I'll take 5 or 6 points on gold because I feel pretty safe about it. If I'm wrong, I'm gone. Silver, because again, here's why. Silver, not following, interesting, lagging. Man, it's holding the 20-day for dear life. Hold on for dear life. GDXJ, getting high and tight up here. Doesn't really feel like it wants to break out and continue. We'll see. GDX, man, this doji. Little ominous. Chop top, doji top. Chop top, doji top. That feels like it could be. We'll see. Need more information. AG, another name that just scratches your head. Silver's up here. This is not going anywhere. AEM. AEM. Should be making new highs. A little hammer. Doesn't really look great. Newmont. Oh, man. If it gets to the 200-day. I mean, that would be hilarious if it didn't. Last year, it did a very similar move where it pretended like it was going to get to the 200-day and then pulled back. Where are you? Where is it? Where was it? Tried, then went. Now I know he's like, oh, that's the bottom side of it. That's the bottom side, Dan. Where was that other example? Whatever. Don't have enough time to worry about it. Just watch it. Close enough for government work. PAAS. Remember, I hate I hate Newmont. I mean, it's a big legacy miner. They're going to have to buy other people. So, I mean, their balance sheet's going to get weaker. Yeah, it looks a little ominous. Maybe you get to 19s. Meh. I don't know. Moving on. AM Dizzle. We talked about it bouncing down here. Tested this old like gap area. Nice little hammer. Professional gap. 5 days in a row. Here you come. Here comes resistance. Here comes resistance. Down resistance line. Now you can see the VAP zone. You can see there's resistance there. You can tell it was like a trap above it multiple times. But if you go back in the past, you can see why this area was support. Right? I mean, you can just whatever. It just keeps going. Trust me on that. We'll see what happens here. NVIDIA. Man, I was really hoping you would see like 175. Maybe you do see it. I don't know. But that's a nice little gap and go with the 200-day. Will it find sellers on the first touch? I don't know. Taiwan Semi shorted this one today. Not perfect entries, but, you know, we talked about like this 87 range, 86, anything. I mean, we were asking, is this a pro gap? I'm like, it feels more like a novice gap, right? Because you go from 59 up to 82. You pull back. Now on earnings, I mean, their earnings are essentially starting to flatten out. Now, China, big bad wolf right around the corner, coming into, God, man, I remember I had to like restart my charts today because it was acting funky. Stop it! So a lot of stuff didn't save because it died. Let's just call it what it is. Let's say, again, I'd prefer just to draw on the fly so y'all can see it as well. You can see there's an interesting point of inflection here. We'll see what happens here. Because it's either below it, above it, below it, fails out it, gets into it, then fails into it. I mean, do we need to get to 89, 90? Maybe. Now, again, it's I'm saying, like, don't go crazy. When you enter into a trade, counter the market, you don't go crazy. All or nothing trading is real stupid. Real dumb here. SMH. People were buying Soxus today. I mean, I don't blame them. Getting back into old trend line, old resistance. I mean, it still wouldn't even be that big a deal if it just pulled back and filled the gap. I mean, I'd be pretty, I don't know. I wouldn't, I think it would bounce. It could maybe go higher. Is Adobe just chopping higher? I mean, again, some of the internals today, I'm like, Apple. Where's the fruit? Doing nothing. Holding the 20-day, though. Can't really get too negative about it. Sold some Amazon, sold Amazon. Not sold some. Not surprised. Man, I wish I would have waited a day. Whatever. Gaps up, flops. Looked like it was going to be going higher. I mean, finished the day up 18 cents. I mean, the market felt like it was not that strong today. CRM getting choppy here at the 100-day. Just watch it. Guggenheim gets to the 50-day, getting a little tired. We'll see. Meta, everybody wants to short it. It's like, be careful. I mean, I love when and again, I went on a long rant about it. I love when trend lines get violated to set traps. Could this be a trap? I don't know. Because now, you know, when you see the trend line, you're like, oh, and this is why like trend lines in the like realm of hierarchy don't really mean as much. This area means something. So watch, learn, study, grow. The more you learn. Think of like Geordi from Star Trek. Not taste the rainbow. The more you know, the rainbow. Here you go, 50, 20-day. All right, we'll see what happens here. It's been resistance, then support. 20-day. Mucho importante. NDAQ, what are you doing? You're supposed to be up so I can short you. Double bottom. We'll see. I mean, again, I'm hoping it rolls. Man, MicroStrategy. If you bought this in the 130s like we talked about, you could. High five, and you took profits along the way, and you're like, oh, I should have held it all. Well, yeah, hindsight's 20/20. Well, here you come. Here comes the 213s. Man, is it Friday the 13th tomorrow? Oh, boy. All the superstitious monkeys out there. When I say monkeys, like small brain folks that just are very primitive brained in trading. They're probably like, oh, it's Friday the 13th, bad luck. Okay. Netflix got an upgrade today. Didn't really act upgrade-ish. Oh, man, all these things did not save. I wish there was an autosave. Come on, autosave feature. Do it. All right, we'll see what happens. You're up at the target zone. Auto zone. Roblox. Bought it down here. Had a little down there. That was kind of nice. And then sold it the 50-day. Gap up over yesterday. Okay. Tesla. at resistance. Maybe 20-day. Again, I mean, the easy money. People are like, I got to buy the dip. I'm going to buy it at 113. Blah, 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 blah. I don't know what the best thing. I mean, again, I just had to get out of this stuff. It just makes me feel itchy to hold. The profits were there. I don't know. Is it going to be one of these, like, just crapshoots? I don't know. I mean, I started thinking about it, like, there's just better trades. And speaking of better trades, like materials names. Yeah. X. That's nice. Nice move here. 28 looks good. Now, again, I personally, you kind of got to be thoughtful, though, right? Got to be thoughtful. And when I say thoughtful, like, think about it, you know. It's gone. It's been acting well. At this point, I mean, what's the best way to describe it? Just be thoughtful. It looks good. But we've seen this thing play chop your dick off. Can I say that out loud? Chop your wang off. Hang 10. And play this game where it looks like it wants to go and then it doesn't go and then it looks like it wants to go. We'll see. Right? We shall see. Again, great trade if you're trading these stocks, man. Some of y'all I know are frustrated and struggling, but some of y'all are just absolutely nailing it, and you're playing it right, you know. Again, if a name is not working, you get out of it. Just don't stick to it. I mean, people are like, oh, I stuck to natural gas, or I got stuck in CF, and it's like, didn't we talk about at 101 CF, get out, and then talked about getting in at 90, and if you had to get out, get out. It's just, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, no one's perfect. I'm not perfect. Don't pretend that you're gonna be. That's a nice double bottom. Nice rally into the potential resistance. Keep an eye on it. I know Cliff got an upgrade today. This company is just absolute balance sheet dog crap. Nice little gap up today. I mean, it's probably more of a novice gap than a professional gap now again. I'm trying to think of, I mean, I usually don't talk about it, but this area matters. We'll keep an eye on it. VALE up 48 cents. Again, things that aren't bearish. You're welcome. Again, if my friend Solomon, who I love dearly, is listening, you got wrecked, sah. I'm sorry. I mean, you told me the Bears were going to be winning, and I just tried to show you the evidence. The evidence was saying that Bulls were actually going to torture Bears before, but now, again, we're kind of getting back to neutral. Sentiment's getting a little more greedy. Expecting a little bit of pullback at minimum. Could be wrong, though. Could be wrong. This could go stupid straight up just to bring everyone back into the market. Think the bull market started. We'll see. Again, could be just another choppy year. Whew. Man, I don't know how much higher it could go. Could it get to this trend line? Man, that's the big trend line, y'all. That's the big trend. Island floating top. Not really an island here. You kind of filled the gap today. We'll see. Hey, arrow, copper. Some of the other Freeport was down. Interesting. Looks a little tired. That hammer could be suspect. CCJ. When I look left, I just see this volume node. I don't know if you'll be able to get over it. CF. Like I said, we got longs and shorts. All right, right back to the range highs. I mean, I have a sneaky, dark feeling, desire for a retest. That's what I really want. Now, again, the more we're up, the less you own. I mean, I sold a little more today. I got minimal positions. I'm at this point where I could really care less where it goes. I just don't trust the market in this position. But, hey, guess what? This zone matters. So if you see 80, watch out. Mosaic. Talked about buying it yesterday, buying it the day before. Nice little rally. Again, just trade around your positions. I don't know how to tell people this. Like, these lows and these ag names, I really doubt they're breaking. I mean, I just very suspect of them breaking. Unless the market absolutely gets, smashed, thunderclap, slapped around. I think it'll hold. Man, this video is going longer than I thought. I guess I enjoy this stuff. NTR, same kind of thing. Holding the lows. We'll see. All right, AA. Again, if you sold it, I respect it. Now it popped back. Do you have remorse? I really don't. I mean, we talked about buying here and then buying here and then selling. I mean, could it get up here? Yeah, I don't know. You're at the 200 day and you're just chilling. We'll see. I mean, again, you're not trading to be perfect. You're just trading to make money. All right, financials. Let's talk about this because XLF today, going into the financial earnings tomorrow, this is not what you want to see. You don't want to see the run up. You want to like see choppy and pullback-ish. You want to be like right here. We'll see how the financials hold up. JP Morgan, again, been on fire. Makes a new high. Closes in our blue box of potential pain. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, you're kind of in it. Again, this box is pretty wide, but again, you don't want to rise into good news. Even Morgan Stanley. Oh, shit. I should have shorted that. Damn it. Missed that. Oh, well. Oh, well. Said 90s. Well, so again, it's hard to with earnings. When I say should have, it's like hindsight's 20/20, and I'm just hoping news is bad, but maybe the second cheese will give us a bounce. So all that stuff, again, I'm a little suspect of it. XBI, holy crap, up 3.5. Wow. Wowzers. I mean, it was up here earlier in the day. Okay. Again, things that aren't bearish. Solomon, you listening? But again, this is the problem here now. When you start getting like this sentiment flip, I mean, I'll probably be told I'm an absolute idiot for shorting today. Well, maybe I might be. I don't know. Again, not aggressive, not going in hard, but just watching. Solar, took some shorts in solar. Man, first solar got part of that Korea news. I don't know, a bunch of whatever. $2.5 billion. Who gives a shit? Not a lot of money. All right, we're back into what I would consider potential short zone, maybe even up to 84. ENPH, this thing was a leader. Now it's lagging. I said if it gets up to 200 day, that's all it's got. That's pretty crappy. This thing was been like, a monster. Not so monstrous anymore. Cedriton, okay. Been acting a little better. Oh, God, man, I hate when everything's not saved. There it is. All right, first solar. You're shorting this? Yeah, we shorted some yesterday, shorted a little today. I mean, I'm not going nuts here. But straight line moves, usually at worst, will find some sort of pullback. Now, people will say, well, isn't that a fresh breakout? I mean, you could argue, yes. You could argue, absolutely, yes. This might be the dumbest trade you've ever done, Dan. Well, why did you short it? Because, I mean, again, I don't know if you know me personally, but I watch levels. I watch the monthly. I watch what's going on. And, I mean, here, let me just show you all my monthly. I mean, you've got another zone of resistance here. I'm sorry, let me drop that. To think that 73 to 175, 78, whatever, I mean, there's muscle memory here. So, God forbid I'm wrong. I mean, it happens. This, again, we talked about not shorting it for many days. Did not start shorting until up here. So, again, when people are like, oh, you're short. No. We talked about it popping. Well, now what? Like, that action just feels very trappish. Like, pretend this was a bottom. Like, flip the chart upside down. You might be like, damn, that's the last leg to the bottom. Like a straight line move, right? Keep an eye on it. Could be absolutely wrong. And I'm willing to admit that. Oil. Man, this thing popped up to 69 and change and then pulled back. I'd love to see it back at 65 again, USO. UNG, again, trade it. This product is just crap. XOP. Talked about taking your gains up here. 200-day trend line, 0.382. I mean, it all comes together. Now, again, does it have to fail? No, but it's like that's the easy spot of resistance to take profits. If you bought it in the 120s and you got up 10, 15 points, I mean, I don't know. That's a good trade. ExxonMobil, coming back to the highs. Yeah, it looks okay. I mean, OIH broke out today. And do I really I just don't believe that, man. But things that can happen that you don't expect. Occidental, talked about it chopping, talked about it holding here. Okay, we'll see. I mean, EQT, I think, didn't they get an upgrade today? These guys are the worst at hedging oil and gas. But it's at a support zone. 20 days obviously going to be key. We'll end it on PX Dizzle. Man, I really wanted to see the 200 range. Makes a new higher high off the lows. Damn, that's going to be hard as hell for that to break. I'm sorry, the 200-day, 100-day, and an old fib. Just keep that in mind. All right, well, if you have any questions, you know me. I'm here to help. Be thoughtful. Again, if you're shorting, don't expect the world. I mean, you do have OPEX next week. However, I mean, the VIX did get pretty much smoked today. So, it leaves me optimistic that there is a pullback of decent size coming. I just don't know what the catalyst is. And so that's usually the biggest problem, right? Like, what's known is priced in. What's not known is not priced in, right? And so what could cause it? Earnings, maybe just a natural pullback. Again, people don't really anticipate natural pullbacks in chop. Like, everybody thinks straight line moves, going to the moon, going to the ground, going up, going down. I mean, chop, it's part of the game. So I appreciate everybody. Be smart, be thoughtful, and tomorrow I'm pretty busy, so I don't know if I'll be posting a ton. Got a closing in the morning. Hell yeah, I love putting people into investment properties. It's so much fun. Anyway, talk to you later. Peace. Hey, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, stop by the Discord room. A link is in the description below. Also, if you'd like to help support more free content, the PayPal link is in the description as well. I appreciate your continued support of the channel.